Welcome to the production of A Person for All Seasons, a show where the players act out the seasons of personality. Each person has a different type of personality and reacts in various ways to everyday encounters. See if you can tell what season or seasons you may be.
I have a question.
Sure, I like questions.
Does this mean only girls and women are springs?
Of course not. No, you'll find each season in both males and females. As a matter of fact, we're more than one season. It's just one happens to be more dominant.
What do you mean by that?
Well, for example, I'm winter. Now, that means I usually can control my emotions. But I've been known to be choked up every now and then.
Oh, really? You get emotional?
That's right. I had a very difficult time keeping emotionally objective when I first saw Lassie come home.
If we don't get this show started, pretty soon we're going to run out of time.
That last scene of Lassie dragging her wounded leg across the desert was really quite touching.
I'm not sure I want to do this show if we have to be on a time schedule.
You are so out of it.
Oh, you noticed?
How could you miss?
I don't know. Maybe it was the moment. Maybe it was the impressive scenery. Maybe it was the fact that I was 7.5 years old.
All right, wise one. When did we start being different?
Maybe we were born that way.
Seems like we were always different. Even when we were little kids.
Now that's something to think about, isn't it? Let's go back to our high school days. See if we can spot those differences even then.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty for all.
Justice for all.
Oh, I'll collect the homework, Mrs. Johnson.
Homework? We had homework in English, too?
Yes. You were supposed to write your essay on your most unforgettable moment.
The dog ate it.
I'll bet.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, it was a pretty unforgettable moment.
Do you have your homework?
Here.
Give me a pencil, would you?
That's not right. You wrote about your most forgettable moment.
So
that wasn't the assignment.
well, my most unforgettable moment wasn't that unforgettable. So I changed the topic. Big deal.
My most unforgettable moment by Steve Areno.
Don't you ever plan ahead?
Oh, not if I can help it. My most unforgettable moment was when the dog ate my homework. The end. Oh, what's that you're putting on the board, Mrs. J? Not another homework assignment?
Stop, look, and listen to other people.
What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses?
How are they alike? How are they different?
Write down everything you notice. What? Things like, I'm a stud. Doug back there's a nerd. Chris has got a button missing, and Leona's got a pimple on her face. I'll whip this out in no time.
That's not what she meant at all. She means we have to look beyond what we can see.
And it has to be handed in tomorrow.
Tomorrow? As if I don't have anything better to do?
You know, some of Mrs. Johnson's assignments are weird. Not everybody has strengths and weaknesses. Take me, for example. All strength.
Look beyond what you see. Hey, with me, what you see is what you get. Oh, there goes the bell. See you guys in the lunchroom.
Many of us moved on to the next level, marriage.
Honey, look, what I did, because I'm such a considerate guy, huh? In honor of our 16th wedding anniversary today, I folded the towels for you.
That's nice, but they're folded wrong. Here, try again.
What do you mean they're folded wrong? Look, I did like this, and then like this, and then like this, huh, baby? Huh? That's beautiful.
That's terrible. You know, we have been married for 16 years, and for 16 years you have been using these towels. Haven't you ever noticed how they were folded? I can't believe that you're so unaware.
Unaware? I'm plenty aware. I just see things I want to see. I guess towels just weren't on my regular viewing list. Honey, look. Next week, I promise, towels are going to be at the top of my list. Right up there with flossing. but I was just noticing your beautiful neck a minute ago. Huh? You know how absolutely delicious it looks, huh?
Stop it. I have to get ready for our anniversary party.
We're gonna go fold some towels together.
You know, I was talking to Louise the other day. Boy, she upset. She and John are having terrible problems. John just doesn't pay any attention to her anymore. He's just so engrossed in his work that... Hey, are you listening to me? Are you listening to me? I said, are you listening to me?
Did you say something?
I don't believe it. You're as uncaring and as insensitive as John is.
Wait a minute. I was listening.
Oh, sure. Then what did I say?
You said, are you listening to me?
I knew it. You weren't listening to me. You know, the least you could do is let me know when you're going to tune me out so that I don't have to waste my breath and... Oh, forget it. Just forget it.
I know I answered her question correctly. Emotional outbursts are so unattractive.
Why is it so difficult for people to communicate?
Down with people who are always late.
Down with people who tell me what to do.
Down with people who are stupid.
Down with people who fight all the time. Get out of my way.
Well, I guess it's pretty obvious that we are all different and that we don't get along.
No, wait a minute. It's not that we don't want to. It's just that we don't know how. Don't you wish that we could look in a book to find out about people? To see what makes them tick and how to get along with them? I always tell you when something's bothering me.
That's because it makes you feel better.
Well, how do you know you won't feel better if you tell me?
Because I already know.
How could you know something if you haven't tried it?
Look, I told you I wasn't going to tell you. Why do I always have to repeat myself?
Oh, but how can we be close if we don't share things?
I'm satisfied with our relationship the way it is. We don't have to spend all of our time together and share everything.
Well, that's because you don't love me. Because if you did...
My husband is always late. I usually spend 2 hours in the kitchen preparing dinner, and he never seems to get home on time. I just get so...
Hi, how's it going? Oh, the game's all tied up.
You are 47 minutes late.
I was just having a great game with the guys. You know, you can't leave in the middle of the game, especially when you're 4 points behind.
Dinner got cold. I had to reheat it, and now it's all dried out.
You know, I don't mind eating cold food. I love cold pizza for breakfast.
That's not the point. If we were polite enough to wait for you, the least you could do is not keep us waiting.
I didn't ask anybody to wait for me. Hey, you're not going to spoil the whole evening by having a fight, are you?
How many times have I asked you to wipe the ketchup bottle off before you put the lid back on? I'm not trying to have a fight. I just wish that you would be more considerate about getting home on time. Tom and Sheila are having a cocktail party Saturday night, and since we don't have plans, do you want to go?
I don't know.
Well, when will you know?
Probably not till Saturday night, huh? Something else might come up.
We can't let them know the same day of the party.
What do you mean the same day? I might not decide till 2 hours after the party starts, huh? It takes that long for everybody to loosen up and have a good time. Besides, I don't think that Sheila's going to be standing at the door counting heads for her quota. Well, I take that back. Knowing Sheila, she probably will.
Do you know your problem? You don't have any consideration for other people. You're always thinking of yourself. Every time I want to talk to you, you just...
All right.
Did you see that?
Well, it seems our seasons do have a better understanding about each other, don't they? Let's see if they can finally solve one of their communication problems.
Well, the biggest problem I see here is that you need some structure in your life.
Would you listen to her? Hey, look, I've heard about all I can take with you telling me how to run my life. Huh? You always try and organize me. Huh? What do I look like? Your closet?
Now, wait a minute. If you want to talk about it, then stick around for a while. You're always making a joke and then walking away. Oh, forget it. You obviously don't want any help.
Well, look who's talking. You know what happens every time I try to converse with you? You break down in a puddle of tears, and then I start to feel guilty.
There you go, analyzing her again. Do you know that you do that to me too? Every time I try to talk to you, you make me feel stupid, as if you know everything. Oh, forget it. Trying to talk to you is a waste of time.
Sometimes.
I get this awful feeling.
That nobody
Understands me.
Sometimes I get this awful feeling that nobody. I'm often accused of being arrogant. I don't act that way intentionally. It's just that I want people to do the things the way I feel are right. But nobody understands that.
When I got my raise yesterday, I was so happy that I started to cry. I don't know why. I was just so happy. But nobody understood that.
I was offered this job as manager of the New York office. I turned it down. Because you see me cooped up in an office like that all day? Being tied to a leg of a desk all day would drive me crazy. But nobody understood that.
I spent the last 2 weeks working on a 15-page sales report. At the meeting last week, nobody wanted to go over it page by page as I did. Don't these people realize that the success of our business depends on these figures? I was really worried and upset about that. But nobody understood that. Sometimes I wish I could just relax and go with the flow. Like you do.
Well, sometimes, but not all the time. I wish I could be more organized, like you.
You know, sometimes I wish I could be more logical, like you.
I suppose there are times when it would be more beneficial to express my feelings more easily, the way you do.
So why can't we?
I don't know. I guess I'm not very good at changing gears.
But all of us have the 4 seasons in us. Why can't we be a person for all seasons?
It's not like we have to change ourselves. We just need to tune in ourselves and find the right channel. Hey, I am beginning to feel more organized already.
Well, you must be. We completed this show in record time.
Now take a minute and think about the people in your life, what seasons they are, your family, your friends, and the people you work with.